Attleboro Community Television, North TV Sports presents the high school football game of the week. Today from the Ronald R. Arrieta football field at Hopewell Park in Taunton, it's an Eastern Athletic Conference matchup between the Bishop Feehan Shamrocks and the Coyle Cassidy Warriors. Peter Gay along with Steve Houle. The music is blaring here. Now, this is, of course, a Catholic high school, and I think the goal of the music is for God himself to hear the music in the heavens.
I feel like we're in Seattle, the 12th man.
It's unbelievable. Our poor camera people are located right next to the speakers. They're going to be deaf by the time this game ends. Steve, should be an interesting game, 3-2. Let's walk this way a little because the teams are headed out to the field. 3-2. Those games don't matter, though. This is the first EAC game.
Yeah, 3-2. Last time we saw Bishop Feehan, they played against North Attleboro. Played a very physical, very tough game, and that's one game that's really thrown North Attleboro on a skid with some injuries. So, but this Bishop Feehan team, very talented. They've got some skilled players. Get in the EAC. Bishop Feehan's played very well in the EAC the last few years.
Now, Bishop Feehan, of course, would certainly be considered the favorite heading into this game, but this Coyle team is not the easy pushover they've been in past years. Tom Pileski's done a great job.
Yeah, Pileski came over as the AD at Brockton, and he's just done a great job bringing this program back to another level, along with your brother Bob, and this institution in general has really come strong. A lot of deep roots here, and this rivalry in general has a lot of deep roots going back to many Thanksgiving Day battles.
As you can see, we had to move. That's the bad news. The good news is they've shut off the music. So we are going to take a short break. We'll be back with the opening kickoff from Hopewell Park in Taunton. Feehan, Coyle, the EAC opener.
Have you ever wondered how your town's government operates? Do you know how the local boards work? Inside Your Government on North TV answers those questions and more by taking a deeper look into the daily, weekly, and yearly workings of the people and boards that make up North Attleboro town government. From RTM to the State House, we cover it all. Inside Your Government on North TV's Community Channel Comcast 15 and Verizon 24, and on the Government Channel Comcast 98 and Verizon 23. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Shot of the Ronald F. Arrieta football field here at Hopewell Park in Taunton. The site of Steve Houle's first ever touchdowns as a high school football player.
Yeah, the difference was the field was going really across the field this way from Bishop Feehan sideline to Coyle sideline. But yeah, that was a memorable day. Ended in a tie, though, Peter.
Tie. John Monahan and Garrett Amaral are back deep for Coyle. You saw them. Ready to kick off for the Shamrocks is Christian Cook. Feehan, their road uniforms, the gold pants, gold helmets, the white shirts with green. I said Christian Cook kicking off, my apology, Matthew Allen. Green numerals and green trim. Coyle Cassidy, gold pants and helmets. Blue shirts with gold and white trim. The return by John Monahan up to the 24-yard line, and that's where Coyle Cassidy will start out. First down and 10.
One thing we noticed in that game against North Attleboro a few weeks ago, Bishop Feehan's an excellent tackling team. That was really stuck out, and they stayed right in that game against, at the time, a very formidable North Attleboro team. This defense is very difficult to score on.
So Coyle will break huddle. Dylan Green is the quarterback. Green at 6 feet, 170 pounds. Has one lone back. The handoff will be to that back, Josh Cobb. Cobb will get up to the 27-yard line, a pickup of 3 on the play. Second down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, we saw in the warm-ups, Coyle does a little two tights, but they also have some split, a flanker and a split end, and single back, double back. So they're able to mix it up offensively. This is a homecoming for Frank Almeida too, right?
That's right. Many years here as the Coyle coach. Also, before that, the head coach of the Taunton Tigers. Rolling out to pass is Dylan Green. Green will keep it himself, will pick up a big block, will be forced out of bounds. Let's call it a 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Warriors. Looked like a pass originally, but Steve, I think it was a designed run.
Yeah, it looked like it was. I agree. Anytime you get a bootleg right, you're thinking pass, but maybe it was a quick look downfield and then good coverage by the Shamrocks. And best thing to do other than that was just what Green did, and that's turn the field and pick up as many as you can.
Green with the E, G-R-E-E-N-E. So a big 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Warriors, who do not want to have to punt the ball away. Handoff will come to Cobb, no room at all. He will maybe move the pile forward about a yard. Let's give him 2, but that will set up a 4th down and 2 for the Warriors, who will punt the football away. I was standing next to Jesse Jason, the punter, on the field earlier. 6'3", 190, Steve, with the shoulder pads, the helmet. He looks about 6'10". You see Matt Allen back deep for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, Matt Allen is very explosive. Also, Isaiah Douglas back there, one of the leading rushers in the area. Nice tandem to have in your special teams.
Punt is a good one. Will be fielded by the Shamrocks. I believe that's Isaiah Douglas. Punt of about 24 yards, a return of about 6. So 1st down and 10 for the Shamrocks.
At the 50-yard line. Great opening field position for this Shamrock team, led on the field by Nicholas Romero. Senior quarterback, 6'1", 177 pounds.
First pitch of the game, first play offensively for the Shamrocks will be Matt Allen, who will pick up the 1st down, bringing it over to the left corner. He'll pick up 12 on the play and a 1st down for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, Matt Allen, he's just really all everything for this Shamrock team. He does so many things, offense, defense, special teams, kicks, punts. I mean, he's just a vital part of this whole Shamrock team. And whenever he gets the ball, he's very elusive, low, great balance, and able to pick up some positive yards.
1st down, it's Allen again. This time Allen brought down after a pickup of 1 on the play. In on the stop for Coyle Cassidy, Mark Schneider, a 6', 235-pound senior.
Yeah, one of the tri-captains of this Warrior football team, and that's the type of plays he's going to have to do. You get the stature of Matt Allen, only 5'7", 152 pounds, but he's got quick speed and a burst of speed to the outside, but he's also running between tackles.
Second down and 9. Allen again breaks a tackle. Will turn it to the outside using his speed. Has the 1st down, looking for a block. Gets it, cuts, brought down at the 9-yard line, and saving a touchdown was Dylan Green. Excuse me, not Dylan Green. Jesse Machado pursuing from behind.
Yeah, what a nice job here. Allen bouncing. It looked like Schneider was going to take him down once again for a possible loss, but then it basically created into a broken play. Plenty of room up the sideline. Using the blocks up ahead, Allen gets inside the 10-yard line.
A pickup of 26 and a 1st down and goal now for the Shamrocks. Allen, nope, this time it's Isaiah Douglas. Douglas will bring it down to about the 4, so a pickup of 5 on the play and a 2nd down and goal coming up for Bishop Feehan.
23 Glebus going in there. Lead block. Douglas following his lead block, picking up those tough yards between the tackles. And those types of runs, that just really wears a defense down and allows you to run outside. And then we've seen Romero. He's more than capable of throwing the ball, too.
And I thought the Shamrocks were taking a timeout, but they are taking a long time getting the play in. And if they're not careful here, they're going to be looking at a delay of game penalty.
Actually, they're just setting the ball right there.
Handoff to Douglas. Douglas, squirming his way forward, will pick up 2 on the carry. So it'll be a 3rd down and goal now for Bishop Feehan. Did I miss a timeout earlier? Because
they might have, because they just set the ball when the Shamrocks got to the line of scrimmage. You looked out left on that replay, and it was basically 2 receivers out there, and the coaching staff for the Warriors are screaming, "Get out there," because there's only 1 person covering 2. So they made some adjustments, and it was still a run play. Big 3rd down play for Coyle.
Huge 3rd down play. It's Douglas again. Douglas will be brought down shy. No, he's in. Touchdown, Isaiah Douglas. I thought when he was spun on the play, the ball came up shy of the goal line, but they give him the 6 points. Douglas, the 2-yard touchdown run, and the Shamrocks lead this one 2-0.
Yeah, nothing fancy here, just power of football. Get the ball to Douglas, and like you mentioned, Peter, the initial contact, but the spin right here on the tackle, enough to get him over the goal line.
The PAT is up, and it is good. Matt Allen delivering the PAT, and Feehan on top now by a score of 7-0. Here it is, Steve. The Shamrocks with the touchdown, scoring on the first drive of the game.
Yeah, nice kick-out block. I'm not sure that was Glebus right there, number 23. I mean, a lot of penetration in that backfield for Coyle, but when you get too deep into the backfield, we've seen a number of times, see Matt Allen right there. He, after the missed tackle by Schneider, is able to scoot around for 26 yards that set up a couple runs by Douglas, and Bishop Feehan goes on top 7-0.
So Feehan on top. A short kick, looking up into a tough sun, was John Monahan. Monahan to the 25-yard line. I tell you, Monahan, a very erect runner.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly an easy target.
Yeah, right. You got to see here, he gets the ball, which again, you mentioned, very difficult. Sun. But instead of going just north and south, start getting in the middle. When you're on special teams and you start looking for angles and slowing up, you're going to get tagged just like that. Good job by special teams of the Shamrocks.
So Coyle Cassidy, 3 and out on their first possession, hoping for better success here as they start out this drive. They're saying at their own 26-yard line. The lone back is Joshua Cobb. Cobb takes the carry, will be stacked up at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. So a 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Warriors.
Yeah, Cuddy on that play low, and a couple of other, I think it was Barth and also number 37, Cornetta for the Shamrocks, doing a good job taking that play back.
Coming up on 6:20 left here in the first quarter. Coyle Cassidy at 3-2. The Shamrocks at 3-2 on the season. Play action. Rolling to his right is Green. Green throwing downfield, had a man open. The pass overthrown. John Monahan was the intended receiver. I think Green, out of fairness to him, thought Monahan would keep going, where Monahan, I think, came back to the ball thinking his quarterback was in trouble.
Yeah, rolling right. I mean, right here, Green is open. You got to get rid of the ball. Set your feet, get rid of the ball. Now as he goes longer, Monahan ran on the sideline. At that point, either come back to the ball or go down the field, because there was no Shamrocks deep. Everyone was playing up because they thought Green might take it around the corner. Missed opportunity there for Coyle Cassidy.
So a 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 10 for Coyle. The last thing they want to do is give the ball back to the Shamrocks.
Shamrocks in that 4-4 defense.
Pass complete near side to Mark Burgess, looking for a block. Will pick up 3 yards on the play. Let's call it 4, and a 4th down and 6 coming up. for Coyle Cassidy.
Yeah, but I like what Coyle did right there. Get the ball, get rid of it quick, pick up some positive yards. See, just that missed tackle right there. But look at the swarm of tackling. A lot of white there, not much blocking ahead. Burgess had nowhere to go.
So back to punt for the second time this afternoon is Jesse Jason. Shamrocks will let it go, and that will cost them some valuable yardage. A 40-yard punt with no return, and Coyle will certainly take that, reversing the field, flipping the field in the process.
See what this defense, Coyle can do. Feehan hasn't thrown the ball yet. They've been very successful with the run. Matt Allen deep.
An offset eye for the Shamrocks. Pitch will come to Allen. Allen trying to squeeze his way through. Will pick up a yard on the play, and on the stop for Coyle, Miles Kincaid, the 6'2", 200-pound senior.
Yeah, Kincaid did a great job. Defensive end. Don't let that play get outside, turn it back in, but not only turns it back in, but makes the contact and bring down Allen.
So a 2nd down and 9 for the Shamrocks. Allen, the pickup of 1. Handoff to the fullback this time, Matt Glebus will pick up 10 yards on the carry, and Bishop Feehan first down.
Nice job by Feehan, really getting 2 wide receivers left, and that pulls that outside linebacker out to cover inside for any kind of quick slant, and they're running right off tackle wherever they're moving that outside linebacker out. That's a nice job by Bishop Feehan, picking up that first down.
4:15 left here in the first quarter. Glebus again will stumble after a pickup of a couple on the play, so a 2nd down and 8 coming up. Feehan has done a nice job here in the early going, mixing it up. First it was Allen with a number of carries. Around the goal line it was Douglas, and now Glebus back-to-back carries. So you can't, as a defense, focus solely on the tailback, because that quick little handoff, some open room as we saw a moment ago when Glebus picked up 10. Offset eye to the left side this time. Allen will bring it that way, makes a cut. Allen into the open field, will be tripped up. Shoestring tackle at the 42-yard line.
Like number 35 for Coyle Cassidy was Brendan Clark, linebacker, 5'8", 175 pounds. But Allen, just a burst of speed, and tell you, just this Clark shoestring tackle, or that's a touchdown.
Goes in the books as a 27-yard carry. He already has a 26-yard carry, so on 5 carries, 67 yards for Matt Allen.
Wow.
Allen, nice little cut, will stumble, but not before he picks up 3 yards on the carry. His total now 70 yards on 6 carries.
You mentioned it, Peter. Bishop Feehan's doing a good job of moving it inside out, but they're not throwing the ball because they don't have to. I mean, they're really doing a good job of mixing their offense up just with the run, so they still have that pass in the back pocket.
I formation, play action. Rolling to his right, looking to throw as Romero has a man there. The pass overthrown was intended for Peter Hamill. The two do not connect.
Yeah, and that's when I think the receiver should have gone more to the corner. It was this pass really has to be laid up a little lighter, not as much pepper on this ball when it's thrown. But you see when this ball is thrown, downfield a little bit more air in there, and that could have been a touchdown. That's really a post corner. So you're running to the post, you're bringing your receiver to the post, and then you take your safety, and then you reverse it back out to the corner of the end zone. And that's where that ball could be wide open. Bishop Feehan's going to take a timeout. They don't like what they see.
Well, you think about it. Feehan having success on the ground, I mean, they on 11 carries have 77 yards, so they're averaging 7 yards per carry. With a 2nd down and 7, they elected to throw the ball. Now they're into a 3rd down and 7, and the fact that they were willing to throw the ball at the 29-yard line would lead me to believe that if they don't pick up the first down here, they're going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, no question. No question. The defense all season has been excellent. And you're playing on the road and you get a chance to put a team down real early here in the first quarter. You definitely take advantage of that. Oh, and by the way, you have this guy.
And Allen slipped, knee down at the 21-yard line, but just enough for the first down. A pickup of 8 on the carry, and a first down and 10 for the Shamrocks now at the 21.
Allen basically outrunning his block. If he doesn't slip up, he's going to pick up quite a few more yards. But good enough for a first down.
Actually mark it at the 20-yard line, so instead of a pickup of 8, let's give him 9 on that last carry. Left side, Allen wrestled to the ground, but not before he gets to the 14-yard line. A pickup of 6 on the play.
See the wide receiver, Christian Cook, out here, number 7, doing a good job forcing his player up the field. Maybe even a little hold right there, but allows Matt Allen just enough for him to squeak through, and then just a lot of individual effort. Matt Allen picking up the extra yards.
Still very early in this game. Handoff to Glebus. Glebus up the middle. The defense concentrating on Allen to the outside, and Glebus coast into the end zone. That one faked everyone out.
Not our camera people, because
I don't know. They had some issues as well.
They went with the widescreen. Is that what you're telling me? Look at this shot, though, right up the middle. A little counter. You've been running strong, the first counter of the game, and untouched into the end zone.
Yep. Our camera people could have been wearing blue and gold on that play because they were faked out just as much. Allen, the touchdown. Let's see.
No, that was Matt Glebus.
Glebus kicked the PAT?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. The PAT was by Allen. My apology. So 14-0, Feehan on top. I'd say the two cameras pretty much covered the same part of the field. So a 14-yard run by Glebus, and the Shamrocks with the 14-0 lead. Hey,
little fly over here?
Yeah, look at this helicopter. I don't know if we can get a shot of it, but that is extremely low. Would lead me to believe that it might be a med-flight helicopter. There it is. Morton Hospital is nearby, and hopefully that is not a med-flight helicopter, and if it is, certainly hope that the individual will be okay.
Nice boot by Allen.
Monahan on the return will bring it to the 24-yard line. And a first down and 10 for Coyle now with 1:19 left.
Great coverage once again by the Shamrocks, and running your lanes. And Monahan, I mean, he just kind of puts the brakes on because he got nowhere to go. That's how you converge on the ball. Heard the coach on the sideline, nobody blocked on the kickoff. I think Monahan would agree with that.
Slot to each side for the Warriors, who go without a tight end, trying to spread out this Feehan defense. Pass is complete to Monahan. Monahan, some nifty moves, pickup of 12 on the play, and a first down.
Green getting rid of the ball real quick. So they did in the last series, that last play of the last series, and this one the result of a couple missed tackles, good block right there. And chip it in was Jesse Jason, tight end. It's the first down of the game for the Warriors.
On that one play, more yardage than their previous two possessions.
And a minute now in the first quarter.
Little some confusion in the backfield, fighting his way back to the line of scrimmage was Josh Grubb. Steve, that one was doomed from the start.
Yeah, Cobb he wanted the ball. I mean, he didn't want to give it up. It looked like Green wanted to take it back and shoot around the right side. He saw an opening, but he put it in so deep, running back's going to take it. Going to get a timeout right here, full timeout for Coyle Cassidy.
Well, a big second down and 10 coming up with 31 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Feehan on top 14-0.
Friday night's game, Peter, North Attleboro Stoughton. It was one possession, and then for North Attleboro, that ran close to 7 minutes in the first quarter. Then Stoughton got the ball, ran it almost the same way. We basically had one possession for each team for the first quarter.
Wow.
I mean, it was just a lot of timeouts, a lot of ball moving, but stayed in bounds.
We were talking prior to coming on the air this afternoon about how physical this Feehan defense is, and I remember years ago when Attleboro would play Durfee every year in football, and Bishop Feehan would play Durfee in football. You could count on a win, but you also knew that your team was going to get beat up physically, and that might cost you in future games, and Bishop Feehan did exactly that to North Attleboro. Alex Jetty, apparently from what we have learned, did come up injured in that game and has now missed at least 2 games, or has missed 2 games, and the majority of the Foxborough game, he was not nearly as effective. Pickup of 7 on that play, a 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Yeah, you look at what they did the first game of the season, North Attleboro, over 600 yards of total offense, and Jeter was responsible for, I believe, over 350 of that. And that's, those are just ridiculous numbers. And you look at what against a very difficult 6-0 Stoughton team last night, I believe it was under 200 yards of total offense. So obviously without Jetty in the game, and also Peters, who's a two-way offensive lineman, defensive lineman, they got banged up against this Shamrock team.
190 yards of total offense for the Red Rocketeers against Stoughton. First quarter has come to a close. All Bishop Feehan, but Coyle starting to move the football. Let's see if they can put a score on the board when we come back.
A Town of Faith on North TV takes you inside the many churches that make up the spiritual fabric of North Attleboro. We'll take you on a tour of the building and grounds, as well as delve into the historical aspects that make each congregation so unique. We'll talk to the clergymen and women of each church to get a feel for not only the physical aspects of the church, but also the basic spiritual beliefs behind each religion. A Town of Faith, exclusively on North TV's Community Channel, Comcast Channel 15, and Verizon Channel 24.
You promised me the world. Is this what you had in mind?
Every choice we make has a consequence. Help EarthShare and its members restore balance to the world. Visit earthshare.org and see what you can do. EarthShare, one environment, one simple way to care for it.
A big 3rd down and 4. Coyle Cassidy picks up the first down. A 12-yard pickup for the quarterback, Dylan Green, who on back-to-back plays has now gained 19 yards.
Yeah, basically, counting with the quarterback. You get the flow of the offense going left, and you run it back right with a pulling guard. And it's a nice play by Coyle. Another first down, just what Coyle need. You got to keep this offense of Bishop Feehan off the field, and you need to get your offense into the end zone.
46-yard line of Feehan for the first time in this game. Coyle Cassidy in Shamrock territory. Cobb, the lone back, takes the carry, fights his way through the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up 4 yards on that carry, so a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Coyle will take that every play. That's the old Coyle Cassidy with the wishbone, the 4 yards in a cloud of dust right there.
Not as much dust as in past years. I'll tell you, they have done a great job.
They really have. They really have. As we mentioned, the field used to go the other direction from the street to the woods, and now it runs parallel to the street, and it's with the stands. It's just a really nice setup.
Now it goes from the school to the pool.
There you go.
Literally.
Fumble,
and Feehan has recovered. Getting back to the line of scrimmage was Green, but on the hit, fumbles the football, and Zach Forget on the recovery for Bishop Feehan. So Coyle Cassidy, a costly turnover just when they were starting to move the football.
You know, those turnovers, needless to say, those are drive killers, but also momentum killers too. And that momentum just falls right back to the Shamrocks. That ball just fell right at Forget's feet, hopped right on it.
Yeah, Feehan was certainly not fooled that time with Green carrying. Play action to Allen. Romero throwing has a man wide open. That's Christian Cook. Christian Cook all the way down to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 23 on the play.
Yeah, Christian Cook, he couldn't have been more wide open. You had Hamill running a post, and underneath you had Cook just running it out, 10-yard out. You look up, there's no one there. He's just waiting for the ball, and Romero got it out to him about 15, 20 yards after. Big play on first down for the Shamrocks.
First down and 10 for the Shamrocks, leading 14-0, looking to add yet another score to the board. Here comes Allen. Allen looking for a block, gets it. Allen is off to the races and will coast into the end zone. 20-0, Bishop Feehan.
Come back with that counter play, and Matt Allen did a lot of the work, and then just enough. It's one of the captains on this Bishop Feehan team, Christopher Barth, downfield. I mean, there's just no one there. Just an arm out. Knocked him down, knocked the safety down. Clear sailing.
The PAT by Allen is good. And Bishop Feehan now comfortably ahead by a 21-0 score.
Yeah, we talk about it, and we even heard in the paper with see the touchdown again by Matt Allen. I mean, look at that. I mean, just some great individual blocking. Every Bishop Feehan player had a body on them blocking and push them out of the way. And, I mean, that's easy sailing from Matt Allen into the end zone. Nicely done. Well, we talk about Coach Smith and the schedule they have just within the Adler area heading into this EAC schedule. I mean, it just prepares them for these games. And that's why over the years here, whether it be Somerset, Berkeley, or Martha's Vineyard, they're right in the thick of it in the EAC every year.
Coyle Cassidy at such a disadvantage playing this Bishop Feehan team. Enrollment numbers are not even close between these two schools.
What are they roughly? Is it?
Feehan is probably somewhere around 950 to 1,000, maybe a little bit more. I believe Coyle might be 550 to 600 students.
Yeah, that's it.
Good return. Up past the 30-yard line.
Good return by the Warriors. And boy, do they ever need a drive now. Even if they don't score a point on this drive, keep the ball out of the hands of this Feehan offense. Feehan 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. Coyle Cassidy 3 possessions, 2 punts, 1 turnover.
Yeah, the bad news for Coyle is starting to open up the playbook a little bit more.
Yes. First down for Coyle. Handoff to Cobb. Cobb up the middle. And I'll tell you, when you go directly at the interior of the Feehan defensive line, you're going right at their strength. No gain on the play.
No, that's Martin and Cuddy in the middle, 72 and 50. Then you got Barth at the right end and Forget at the left end. And you get by those guys, then you're into the linebacker crew. Those 4 are very active. This is just the front 8 of the Shamrocks. Very aggressive, good tacklers. They know their responsibilities, and they make plays.
Cobb 6 carries now, 1 for 2 yards, 2 for 4 each, and then 3 no gain at all. Cobb, This time we'll go in reverse. We'll lose. Looks like 3 yards on the play. And things go from bad to worse for Coyle Cassidy. Let's call it a loss of 4 on the play. 3rd down and 14 now.
Yeah, there's just no movement of that offensive line pushing the Shamrocks off the line of scrimmage. Cobb has nowhere to go. I mean, he's getting the ball and he's looking up and it's white jerseys in front of him. Give a lot of credit to that front four, and then you mix in a couple linebackers. Cornetta doing a good job. Also, Glebus and number 45, Salmon.
And Coyle Cassidy will take a 30-second timeout with 7:28 left. Don't forget, still plenty of football left this season, even if you're not a fan of football. My question would be, if that is the case, why are you watching? But if indeed you are not a huge fan of football, but some of the other sports that North TV covers, like North TV on Facebook or follow us on Twitter, and you will get live updates from games that North TV covers. Whenever there is a scoring change in a game that we are covering, a football game that is, and at the end of every quarter we send out a post or a tweet. During basketball, we will do so at the end of every quarter. And in every other sport, the final score will be sent to you. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Covered was Jesse Jason. No way at all that Dylan Green would have been able to get that one in. And Jason taking a hit at the end of this play.
Green took a big hit by Glebus. Boom, just as he got rid of the ball. And nice job by Green just staying in there, because that pressure with the middle linebacker coming after him was bearing down.
Have any good stories? Because I think we're going to need them by the second half.
If I can tell them on the air.
Punt will come down. Douglas looking up into the sun, scramble underneath.
I think Feehan still has it. Nope. Coyle ball. I think it was number 59 for Coyle. Schneider, Mark Schneider, one of the tri-captains of this team, getting downfield, 6 feet, 235.
I'll tell you, I just looked up during that replay into the sun. Douglas was looking directly into the sun, and there's a case where I think, hey, if that's the case, son, just let it go. He had called for the fair catch anyway. So a first down for Coyle, by far their biggest play offensively, and it was on a punt. And Coyle throws the ball away, somehow complete. A dangerous throw.
Very dangerous, because Matt Allen was right there. Looked like he might take that back.
Dylan Green somehow getting that pass off, and that was very close to being intercepted. No gain on the play, but better than a 12-yard loss.
Actually, I thought Green was just throwing it out of bounds and turned into a completion.
Who completed? Who caught that pass?
That was
it Monahan?
Monahan, yeah, number 15.
Pass again. Wide open in the slot was Garrett Amaral, fighting forward, picks up 12 yards and a first down.
Coyle's been able to throw the ball underneath. You know, Bishop Feehan not giving up any big plays, and when Green gets back, sets his feet, he's got some room to work in the flats.
Well, I think it's safe to say Coyle Cassidy, if they have any chance whatsoever in this game, it needs to be through the air, which might soften up the defense for the running game. Coyle Cassidy at the Feehan 35-yard line. Green will keep it himself. Green up the middle. Green picks up 13 yards on the carry and another Coyle Cassidy first down.
And great call from the Coyle sideline. That's basically a quarterback draw right there. You know there's going to be pressure because you've been throwing the ball. So as you're seeing the white jerseys get up the field, they're running lanes, going wide, little bump by the offensive lineman, and the result, first down for Coyle. Nice call right there. Nicely executed by Green.
Nice job by the offensive line. Hold those blocks just long enough and then bump them out. The rushers to the outside, and that opened up the middle of the line for Dylan Green. Ball at the 22-yard line, deepest penetration so far for Coyle Cassidy. Slot to each side. Green this time will take it and will be brought down, a loss of 2 on the play. So good call the play before, not so good this time.
Yeah, I think you try to do too much backfield and you're looking around. That's just not going to work. I mean, look at the way this just closed in like the pocket, like you're throwing the pass downfield. There was no chance for Green to go anywhere.
So a second down, and as you can see, 12 yards, 4:45 left in the second quarter. Bishop Feehan comfortably on top, 21-0, but Coyle Cassidy threatening here in the closing minutes. Boy, it would be huge for Coyle Cassidy to punch one in before the half. And Tom Pileski wants a timeout. He is not happy about something.
Looking at the slot side, somebody's out of position. Coach Pileski's got quite a bit of experience, so when he sees somebody he doesn't like, he knows when to call a timeout.
Tom Pileski, who we had dealt with many years ago when he was the athletic director at Brockton High School. Brockton, of course, is the host site to a number of MIAA basketball sectional semifinal games, and whether it was an Attleboro High playing at Brockton or North Attleboro boys or girls team playing there, would always roll out the red carpet, would make you feel as if you were as welcome there as you would be at some of our local gyms. As a matter of fact, at times he's more welcoming than some of our local gymnasiums. What do you need? So a second down and 12. Coyle Cassidy becoming the home of all the retired public school administrators. My brother, of course, leaving North Attleboro. Now the principal at Coyle Cassidy, Tom Pileski, leaving Brockton.
Serious leadership, huh?
Absolutely. Green quarterback draw this time is pummeled in the backfield. Seamus Cuddy along with Mitchell Martin. And a loss of 3 on the play, and now a third down and 15.
Yeah, exact same play. They ran, and Martin got away with a shot right across the face mask. But Seamus, they were able to finish it off.
Plenty of time left for Feehan to march downfield. Not that they need a lot of time, but looking at a third down and 15, one would think that if Coyle comes up shy, they will try to pin the Shamrocks back deep. Pileski looked downfield, did not like what he saw before that play, thought about calling a timeout. It was too late. Actually was not trying to call timeout, was just throwing his hands up, I think, in disgust. And another big loss on the play, and now a fourth down, and what would that be? 12-yard line. They're at the 35, 23 yards.
I'm not sure why that official threw the beanbag there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
That's usually a change of possessions or a loose ball. Or
sometimes they'll do that if he considers that the forward progress.
Oh, okay. Well, that must have been it. But from where he was, that's like playing the old game of lawn shots. Good luck trying to hit that spot.
Yeah, good point. So a sack of 8 yards. And now Coyle Cassidy. Tell you, they do not have Jesse Jason on the field. Yeah, they are not going to punt the ball here. A fourth down and 23. This might be a case where they just throw one up for grabs, and if Feehan intercepts, it's as good as a punt. The question is, can they give Green time to throw the ball? That's exactly what they'll do. Pass is overthrown. And once again, Steve, Green not getting enough air underneath that ball, allowing his receiver, John Monahan, there's a shot of John, to get underneath.
Yeah, Green's got a strong arm. We've seen that. With the wind behind him, these balls are just carrying, too. I mean, it's a strong arm downfield.
Green 3 of 6 for 24 yards.
That's when you get the slot right, slot left, and you might even punt the ball down the field.
Yeah. Kind of like a quick kick type formation. So Feehan a first down and 10. Isaiah Douglas the carry. Isaiah Douglas to the outside. Isaiah Douglas will go into the end zone, but a penalty marker will be thrown back at the 43-yard line. One of the Coyle Cassidy players, and I saw it as the play was developing, a hold downfield. So it'll be a big pickup on the play, a holding penalty, which will be a spot foul.
Still a big gain, though.
So Douglas, I believe, gets credited with a carry of 23. The 10-yard penalty will give Feehan still a first down and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
Under high school rules, of course, it is from the spot of the foul, so it's still good enough.
Public address announcer saying it in high school the penalty is assessed from the spot of the foul. That would have been the case in professional football as well because it was past the line of scrimmage, the holding penalty. Coyle showing blitz. Romero has a man wide open. It's Forget, but the pass overthrown, incomplete. Second down and 10.
I think similar to Green, that's one where you get behind the defender. Forget was open, and also Christian Cook was open. You could have picked the receiver, but again, a little bit more air under this. Thrown to the moon, but a little too much zip.
Steve, this game marks the midway point of an 11-game high school football season. This, of course, being week 6. And from what we have seen from Bishop Feehan in the 2 games we have covered, if there's a formula to beating Bishop Feehan, it's stop their running game because their passing game is not on the level of the running game. Pass downfield, incomplete.
It's going to be tough, too. The coaching staff and even for the players, I mean, you're looking at the plays being called, and they're open. There's open receivers everywhere you look out here. And good blocking up front. Romero's got plenty of time. Maybe a little rushed. I mean, just overthrown again.
The play before, Forget was open. Pass overthrown. That pass, Glebus open. And once again, and we said this about Dylan Green, the more air you can put underneath the ball, it allows your receiver.
A little bit more touch.
Yeah, allows your receiver to run under the ball and help with the timing. Romero, they set up a screen. Douglas wide open with blockers in front. Douglas bobbing and weaving, breaks a tackle, will be brought down at the 37-yard line. A pickup of 14 on the play, and Feehan an important first down.
Boy, that was a perfect call right there. You see the blue jerseys getting upfield, good blocking, then you let them go. Because you got to get responsibility as a lineman out to the left side here. Get Isaiah Douglas an open ground. This is where you're going to get a lot of shifties, a lot of shaky moves, and trying to cut back, taken down after the first down.
2:10, clock is running. Feehan with, I believe, 3 timeouts left here in the first half. They used one on offense earlier on a third down situation. Romero will keep it himself. Romero will be brought down after a pickup of is it 9 or 10? I can't tell. It might be enough for a first down. It's either going to be a second down and 1 or a first down, and I believe we have our first measurement of the afternoon. We do.
Good enough for a first.
Nope, no measurement. It will be a first down and 10. So Romero, his first carry, results in the first down. Feehan now at the 27-yard line of Coyle Cassidy. Pitch to Douglas. Douglas cuts inside, reverses field somewhat, and that will be enough for a first down. Pickup of 14 on the play.
A nice 1-2 punch right there between Allen and Douglas. It was a lot of Allen, and As you get close to the end zone, you see Douglas scooting in there.
So a pickup of 15 on that last carry. And Bishop Feehan will take a full timeout.
Peter, can you see the confidence in this offense? I mean, they throw the ball 3 downs and they go, you know what, we're going to get them anyway. That's pretty much what they've been able to do here this afternoon.
So Bishop Feehan opened up the season with a 19-7 loss at Attleboro, beat Apponequet 21-0 at the first game ever on the artificial turf at McGrath Stadium. Lost to North Attleboro 21-14 at McGrath, then shut out Medway 14-0 before winning at Barrington, Rhode Island last week 24-0.
You look at that, 5 games, 3 shutouts, 21 points total. I mean, that's impressive.
Pitch to Douglas. Douglas with some room. Douglas to the outside will get into the end zone, but this one will come back. One would assume it is holding, but let's wait and see. It will be holding. It will be another spot foul. So I can't tell you initially how much yardage Feehan will have for the first down. I could not tell who the holding penalty was on. So the second holding penalty called on the Shamrocks. They will spot the ball at the 14, so it's a 1st and 13 now. So the holding penalty occurred at the 4-yard line. Glebus, catching everyone by surprise, goes into the end zone from 14 yards.
Every time Bishop Feehan runs that counter, it's been wide open, and Glebus has had a few touchdowns on this play. This one just really uncontested. Motion going right, bring it back left, and make that one guy miss, and next thing you know, you're finding your way into the end zone again. Nice job by Glebus. Great call from the sidelines.
Matt Allen makes it a 28-0 score.
PAT is good.
So Matt Glebus, 2 touchdown runs of 14 yards each in this game. Feehan now 260 yards of total offense, minus 20 yards of penalties. That's impressive.
That's very impressive.
In the first half. Here it is. You can see everything designed to bring the defense to the right and then just waltzing into the end zone. Had that one tackle to break. And now 28-0 Bishop Feehan.
You know, when you run a play like that, you can't block everybody. It's about deception. You get your flow right and you're coming back left. And Glebus doing a good job of making that guy miss. And that's how you have a successful offense. What a beautiful day for football, Peter.
It is absolutely gorgeous. No, I was not at the Stoughton North Attleboro game last night. I was at the Bishop Feehan father-daughter dance, and I just received a text here. Bridget Gay posted a photo of you on Facebook. Not of you, Steve, but of me.
Oh, I was going to say of me. I was like, how did she get that?
There's a kick that will be covered.
Are you dancing, Peter?
Oh, well, 3 slow dances, that was it.
So Patty told her how the night's going to go?
So with 1:05 left, 1st down and 10. But you were at the North Stoughton game last night. How cold was it?
It was very cold. I mean, it was a really good game, and I don't think the cold weather had effect on much of the actual outcome of the game, but it was a little colder than we're used to seeing in early October for sure. We've been very fortunate over the last few seasons. We haven't really had that cold weather to around Thanksgiving.
So Coyle will most likely, well, I was about to say most likely throw the football here, but handoff will come up the middle. And no gain on the carry. Is that 39 or 38? 39. That's Alec Turner.
I actually can't believe Feehan just called the timeout.
Well, are they trying to put another score on the board before the
There's no other reason not to call a timeout unless they make substitutions.
It's not a good way to make friends.
Nope.
I remember we did a game at Bishop Feehan a few years ago between these two teams, and Feehan really laid it on Coyle Cassidy at the end of that game. And it appears as though it will be the case here in this afternoon as well. There's a shot of one of the Coyle Cassidy assistant coaches. I believe that's the gentleman who, just before we were doing the pregame, asked us if we wanted
yes,
the music turned down.
Oh, no, it's fine.
What? Second down and 10. Rolling to his right, keeping the ball is Green. He will be forced out of bounds after a pickup of, let's call it 6 on the play. Let's call it 5, so a second down, third down and 5 coming up for Dylan Green now with 50 seconds left. And with that play going out of bounds, Bishop Feehan does not need to call a timeout here.
I think they need to anyway.
You think the lead is safe, Steve? Is that what
I'm pretty comfortable with that, but also, not that they're going to try to score here in the second quarter, but you want to get your offense out there one more time in the third at least, and you really don't want to score before halftime again, to be quite honest with you.
That pass is incomplete. Monahan unable to hold on. So Coyle Cassidy will be forced to punt the football away, and thanks to that timeout that Bishop Feehan called with 45 seconds now left, Feehan will have time to try to put another score on the board. I think if Feehan had not called timeout there, Coyle Cassidy would have most likely just run out the clock and went into the locker room. And let's not forget, Bishop Feehan gets the ball to start out second half play.
If I'm Coyle right there, I run the ball anyway, so make him burn another timeout.
Yeah. Line drive kick will be taken by Allen at his 30. Allen, penalty marker down. Allen will be wrestled down after a return of a few yards on the play.
This guy behind me has no idea what game he's watching. It's kind of annoying.
Well, I heard him say call it both ways, and I'm not sure what he was referring to. Apparently he's a fan of the Shamrocks. Yeah, he's definitely was not a horse collar because he had the tackler, I believe, had the shirt of Allen. Yeah. Let's see. Well, he might have.
That's not a horse collar. Even if it was, I'm not giving it to that guy.
It will be a penalty against the Shamrocks. Will be a 10-yarder, so that's Feehan's third penalty. Each of them 10 yards. And he still wants the horse collar called 15 yards.
His hand wasn't inside the collar. It was on the shoulder pad.
And Feehan will mercifully go down on one knee. And they are asking the official, do we need to run one more play? And the official said, no, they don't. Thank goodness. 28-0. Bishop Feehan leads the Coyle Cassidy Warriors at the intermission. We'll be back. I'll have some statistics. Steve will have some comments and more after this.
North Attleboro High School alumni. Ever wish you could see your high school graduation once again? North TV, in conjunction with North Attleboro High School, is happy to present Education Channel Flashback, graduations, theater performances, and special events from decades past. Resurrected and aired on North TV's Education Channel. These programs were originally recorded by North Attleboro High School's video production students and staff, and are brought to you by North TV's Education Channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 22. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, everyone. The Bishop Feehan cheerleaders performing in front of the crowd, making its way over from the greater Attleboro area. 28-0. Some first half stats. Matt Allen, 9 carries, 120 yards. Wow. 6 carries, 54 yards for Isaiah Douglas. Matt Glebus, 4 carries for 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. Douglas also had a touchdown. Romero, 1 carry for 10 yards. Romero through the air, 2 of 5 for 36 yards. Cook, 1 reception of 22. Douglas, 1 reception, 14 yards. Feehan, 30 yards in penalties. Josh Cobb, 7 carries for 6 yards for Coyle. Dylan Green, 7 carries, 34 yards. Alec Turner, 1 carry, no yards. Dylan Green through the air this afternoon. I have him unofficially for 3 of 7, 24 yards. Burgess, 1 reception, 4 yards. Monahan, 2 receptions, 12 yards. And Amaral, 1 reception, 12 yards. Steve, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, just too much talent on that sideline, and some of the best defense for Coyle has been Bishop Feehan's errors, so they got to clean that up in the second half.
28-0 is our score at the intermission. Adding insult to injury, Feehan will get the ball to start out second half play.
Senior Beat, the monthly program that spotlights our community's senior citizens and the issues that are important to them. Join Pam Hunt, Executive Director of the North Attleboro Council on Aging, as she explores topics vital to the health and happiness of this great generation. Special guests, info on upcoming events, and front row access to programs put on by the Senior Center make this a show you can't afford to miss. Senior Beat, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on North TV's Community Channel, Comcast Channel 15, and Verizon Channel 24.
To the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the USO is home. The USO depends on the generosity of the American people. Donate today at USO.org.
Second half action is underway. A short kick will be taken by Isaiah Douglas at the 26-yard line. Douglas will be brought down from behind. A nice tackle by number 44 for Coyle, Jesse Machado.
That was a nice kick by Green, actually. Try to get the ball away from those guys, kick it to the next group up. Fortunately for Coyle, it fell in the hand of Douglas and picking up some positive yards, but not a short field for the Shamrocks. Expect a lot of running here in the second half.
You said, Steve, especially if Feehan comes down offensively and scores a touchdown, this will most likely be the last series we'll see Feehan.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be wholesale substitutions, but that's when you get some of your plays out of the game.
Might be after one play because Allen with some room. Look at Allen just bobbing and weaving, waiting for the tackle, the blockers to set up. It will be a first down. A pickup of 23 yards on the carry.
You know, at 5'7", you're elusive, and when you get some great moves and great balance like Allen's shown, he's able to bounce outside. Then he's just seeing what way the block is going to take him. Still picking up yards.
Douglas, the lone back. Douglas will be brought down by Jeff Montanard for Coyle after a pickup of 1 on the play. Who's your friend there sitting next to you, Steve?
It's quiet right now, but it's early. Am I the only guy here with gloves on?
Yes, you are. You have to cover up those feminine hands of yours.
I'm just trying to keep the paper so they don't blow away.
2nd down and 9, Douglas. Diving through a very small hole will pick up 3 yards on the play, and a 3rd down and 4 coming up for Bishop Feehan. Bob Gay, the former principal at North Attleboro High School, the current principal at Coyle Cassidy High School, is seated beside Steve Poole. We should give him a headset. I know people in North Attleboro would love to hear from Bob. So a 3rd down and 6, Shamrocks, offset eye. Some confusion. Romero will be brought down. A huge loss on the play. Forward progress spotted at the 45-yard line. So a 4th down and 11 coming up for Bishop Feehan. Bob Gay, the principal at Coyle Cassidy. I know a voice that people in North Attleboro certainly miss. How's everything going?
Well, other than this game, everything's going very well. We have a homecoming dance tonight. I don't think there'll be a lot of smiles on our faces, but no, everything's going well.
We were talking in the first half about the fact that there's a disparity as far as the disparity in enrollments. There's a bad snap. And Coyle will come away with excellent field position. Brendan Mulligan fielding that one. And Coyle will come out. We'll start out this drive, 1st down and 10 at the Feehan 29-yard line. But enrollment, Coyle, Feehan, Coyle is at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, we're less than half the size of Feehan, so certainly the enrollment is tough on sports like this. We do very well in sports like girls basketball, girls softball, boys baseball, ice hockey, etc. We are starting a wrestling program for this winter, so I know we'll definitely be better than Feehan's wrestling team because they don't have one.
That's the ultimate optimist right there.
There you go, right. We're actually co-opting with Bristol Plymouth. Well, hopefully we can get a little drive going here.
So it'll be a combined team the first year?
Yes, it will be, yep. Whoa, get out of bounds. There you go. Yeah, BP has had a program for a few years, Bristol Plymouth, and they haven't been able to sustain a full lineup of 14 weight classes. So the 2 ADs and the 2 principals got together, and we decided that we would work with each other in the sport. I know BP is co-op with Southeastern Tech for ice hockey. So.
It's going to be 2nd down and 20.
So it's not an incomplete pass. I thought it was. They will rule it as a sack.
I was hoping it was a tuck rule, but.
Yeah. So there's a case when I'm officiating in a game like this. That's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I agree. Dylan Green's a great kid.
Green will be sacked again back at the 41-yard line, and Coyle offensively marching backwards at this point. So wrestling at Coyle, any chance you'll come out of retirement? Or does that jeopardize your Hall of Fame credentials?
Oh, no. I would love to come back and coach, and I still plan to do it at some place at some time. In fact, I believe that Attleboro High School is the only team in the Hockomock League without a wrestling program, Steve.
Maybe we can talk to my brother. And
yeah,
if you
knew the AD, that would
know. If I could bring him you, I'd be a hero.
Now, if I gave up my day job, I could probably coach, but I don't think I'm ready to do that yet.
There you go. Yeah, fortunate to have you.
Yeah, well, you're very kind.
So it's 3rd down and long for Coyle, 3rd and 25. Green passing to Monahan, overthrown and incomplete, and Coyle Cassidy unable to take advantage of great field position. They will be forced to punt the football away.
Yeah, this defensive line, they've done a great job. Forget and Cuddy and Martin, Barth up front. The linebacker is very active, so this is a good group, very active, and when you get that much pressure, and Green really has nowhere to go.
Jesse Jason to punt. He did a number of good ones today.
Jason. Right down to the 13-yard line. Will be a punt of 28 yards with no return.
Yeah, it was Trainter and Cobb down there cleaning up this play real quick. Great coverage inside the 15-yard line. That's where Feehan will take over.
Jesse Jason now 5 punts, an average of 31.2 yards per punt.
That right there was the best. I mean, just with the coverage with the punt.
So Feehan, this is the deepest in their own territory they have started a drive. Glebus, who already has 2 touchdowns, has a big first down all the way up to the 29-yard line. Will be a pickup of 16 yards on the play. And Glebus now, with that run, is over 50 yards. He's up to 56 yards on 5 carries.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, and it's been this play right here. It's the counter. You got motion going left, motion going right, and you bring Glebus the opposite way. And you've been very fortunate because you know the coach wants to call it every play, and every time he does, that's why Glebus has 56 yards.
First down and 10. Allen with big room. Allen using his speed will get all the way down to the 34-yard line. A penalty marker down, and this could be on the tackle.
No, if anything was a horse collar, that might have been. But that hole that Allen ran through was huge.
Check the flag. A personal foul, horsepower on the Warriors.
Oh, yeah. Buddy behind us, Steve, is going to like that call.
I think he moved. I haven't heard him.
No, he's still there.
Now he's...
He's gloating. He's gloating. One of the Coyle Cassidy players appears to have been banged up, a shoulder injury. Has his shirt and pads off, has ice. Do you recognize who that is?
Yeah,
Bob?
that's Devin Rossi. Devin's a senior.
One thing we have noticed this year, we noticed it in the loss to North Attleboro. Handoff to Douglas. Douglas breaks a couple of tackles. Douglas goes into the end zone. 34-0. 16-yard touchdown run. Douglas now with 2 touchdowns. Here it is, Steve.
Yeah, Glebus with a fake up the middle. Lead blocker. Just really, once you get through that initial line of defense, Douglas bounces outside easily into the end zone untouched. A lot of weapons on the Shamrock team.
Matt Allen, the PAT, so with 5:38 left in the third quarter. Bishop Feehan now on top by a 35-0 score.
Yeah, when they want to start running the counters and mixing it up on offense, it hasn't taken long for the Shamrock team to push the ball down the field. That was their longest scoring drive of the game.
That's right.
I believe the most impressive scoring drive I've seen all season, though, actually happened last night. Down 6-0 in the fourth quarter. The Rocketeers went on a 90-yard, 17-play, 8-minute and 16-second drive. Extremely impressive. Perrin did a great job leading that attack.
Somebody asked me the other day, Bob, how many years you've been out of North Attleboro now, and I could not remember.
It's my 3rd year here at Coyle. I left it in 2010.
So yeah. Some of the juniors and seniors, or
seniors are the last class that I really know. They were freshmen when I was there. So.
And I have been to many rallies, assemblies at North Attleboro High School when you were there. You used to belittle the freshmen.
No, they knew I loved them deep down.
Kick will come down to Monahan.
Johnny Monahan. I had his mother at Whitman Hanson as a student.
Boy, that's showing your age.
Oh, you're not kidding.
I was talking about that last night at the Feehan father-daughter dance, and talking about the years I've been broadcasting games, and you really feel old when you start televising the children of players you used to televise years ago.
That's definitely happening now, huh? My sister Kelly Holt just had her class reunion in 1987.
At CBS Scene?
At CBS Scene.
I saw the pictures on Facebook.
What's this Facebook thing you talk about? Should I get on that?
Yeah, you should. Well, my daughter will tell me it's for old people.
Yeah, it is now. The kids have abandoned Facebook and they're tweeting on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah.
Which is the perfect segue. If you want to get live updates from every game North TV is covering, we tweet and post on Facebook every score when we televise a high school football game at the end of every quarter of high school basketball, and the final result of every game we televise, no matter what sport it is, throughout the year. So like North TV on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Cobb, a pickup of 4 on that last carry, 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Warriors. Cobb has not had much room to run this afternoon. 8 carries, 10 yards.
Every time he looks up, there's a sheet of white in front of him, and he's getting dragged down behind the line of scrimmage.
Josh is a junior. He's going for his Eagle Scout, so he's a fine young man.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Cobb?
Not much there, huh?
Yeah, broke 1 tackle, broke a 2nd, but just too many white jerseys. Will still pick up 2 yards on the carry, and Cobb did that one, or picked up those 2 yards all on his own.
A couple of fresh jerseys in the game for the Shamrocks. So start to see more and more of that as the time goes along with that 35-0 lead.
Oh, and let's face it, not only does it show a good deal of sportsmanship, but it also makes your program better from year to year. We have seen so many times over the years where starting coach, maybe with 2 minutes left, will put in the second team and really ends up hurting their own program in the process.
Yeah, I remember there was one in particular, Peter, and I can't remember the player's name at Durfee, though. And Durfee had a really good football team. This was probably mid to late 90s, and this kid was really good, really talented. Probably had a couple hundred yards of rushing, 3 touchdowns, and a couple, maybe even under a minute left. He hurt his knee, and he missed the rest of the season. Big Thanksgiving Day game and possible Big 3 championship against New Bedford.
It was the closing minutes of a lopsided win over
Very
Attleboro,
lopsided.
and the Durfee coach kept his starters in there, and it ended up costing them big time later on in the season. The punt will end up being a punt of 28 or 29 yards. So Jesse Jason has been very busy punting the football away. 6 times. Feehan has had only 1 punt this afternoon. Now, Bob, won't be long before we're back in the gymnasium. High school wrestling. North Attleboro, of course, one of the top wrestling programs in eastern Massachusetts, if not the entire state. Will you be able to come back with Brett Poirier and me this year?
Yeah, I hope so. North should be very good last year. You may recall all those 10th graders they had.
Pickup of 6.
Yep, those 10th graders who were very successful last year. So I think they'll just be a year older, a year better. I'm hoping, though, we'll have to check the dates. I'm hoping to be on the sidelines of the Coyle high school wrestling team, helping out in any way that I can. So,
volunteer assistant coach.
Yep, it's like I was with golf with you all those years at North. Yeah.
Boy, that's some serious coaching in the clubhouse.
Kind of like having Frank Almeida on your sideline.
Whoa, they missed him, huh?
Douglas somehow gets through.
That was a nice effort of him.
He's going to get the first down, too.
Yeah, he's going to be shy by it depends on which official they line it up with. I think he has it.
And one official closest to us had him short by a bit. The other guy was on the beyond it, but they went with the guy closest to the Coyle sideline.
Bob, do you remember when Coyle Cassidy played their home games at the old Hopewell Park, and the field, rather than horizontal, was vertical?
Right. No,
what a difference they've done here.
Wow, this is beautiful. I remember when the end zone was basically the baseball field over there, so it was all like that dust infield.
that they had the old stone building, which was situated right about where we're seated. Romero
First down.
has the first down.
And it's enough for a first.
So Feehan will keep the clock going by picking up 4 first downs. We were talking earlier, Steve, possible that Feehan would offensively leave the starters in for their first possession. Many coaches go 3 quarters and then it's the backups the rest of the game, and I'm sure that's what we'll see here in the fourth quarter. Douglas racing down the sidelines, will be driven out of bounds at approximately the 17-yard line, a penalty marker down. And we'll see if this will warrant a comment from the Feehan fan behind us, who was very vocal in the first half, thinking the officials were not calling it both ways.
I know the score was 28-0. I feel bad for Feehan. They're taking the holes in from the officials.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break.
That's what he was saying.
Give me a break.
It was 28-0, and you heard from the stands, call it both ways. Tell you, Douglas is fast, but
yeah,
he was chased down. That's the second time we've seen Luis Graziano make a big tackle.
Yeah, Louis, a senior, one of our student leaders.
So after that, a first down and 10. Actually, maybe closer to 11 as I look at it now.
Wow, that's never gave up.
Douglas up to the 49-yard line, so a second down and 4 coming up, a pickup of 7 on the play.
Yeah, good solid run. I mean, these Shamrock players, they just don't go down with the one hit. One thing I'd be thinking that the Shamrocks might run if they're looking to get this group off the field is a counter.
Glebus again?
Is he in the game? He is.
He's in at fullback.
Second down and 4.
No,
straight ahead.
It will be Douglas who will be
stopped
shy of the first down by a yard.
And it's going to set up a 3rd and 1 for the Shamrocks. Under a minute to play in the third quarter.
Actually played basketball. My brothers played basketball at Attleboro High with Isaiah Douglas's father, Gary Douglas.
Is Gary his brother? His son, I mean?
Yep.
I remember Gary.
They had Garfield Douglas a few years back for the Shamrocks, was a big player, especially defensively.
Handoff. And yet another first down for the Shamrocks. On the carry, Matt Pisano. And that will do it for third quarter play. Shamrocks throw 1 on the board in the third. We have 11 minutes left in this one. 35-0. Shamrocks up by 5 scores.
North TV is proud to present the Ask Gilby Show, an engaging opportunity for young learners to practice those early learning concepts, such as number and letter names, colors and shapes recognition. The show's producers have designed Ask Gilby to connect early learning concepts and at-home activities to pre-kindergarten state standards. The Ask Gilby Show, mornings on North TV's Education Channel, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 22. North TV, bringing the community into your home. Veterans Forum on North TV, the monthly show dedicated to spotlighting what's going on in the lives of those who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Join American Legion Post 49 as they keep you up to date with news, information, and opportunities regarding the veterans of North Attleboro. Veterans Forum, only on North TV's Community Channel, Comcast Channel 15, and Verizon Channel 24. North TV, bringing the community into your home.
Start a fourth quarter play, and the two teams lined up in the wrong direction. That's unusual.
New quarterback. Feehan. Romero's out.
Yeah,
Nathan Lynch.
Wholesale substitutions for the Shamrocks.
Nathan's a senior. It's nice to see him get some playing time.
Yeah, we mentioned that, and get the young kids in, but I have more respect for those juniors and seniors that have been part of the program since day one when they walked into the school, whatever school it is, and they go through the summer sessions, they work hard, they're there, they make the commitment, and you want to reward those kids because those kids really make up the nucleus of your team, and if you have a kid on the sideline, you'll know better than anyone.
Right.
If you have kids on the sideline that don't want to be and they're upset with them not playing in the games, that doesn't create for a great atmosphere.
Second down and 13 for the Shamrocks, back at the 49-yard line.
Solid running.
I believe that's Pisano. I have to wait to see the number.
Alex
No, it was
Richardson.
not.
Nope.
Michael Gallagher. Not my brother-in-law, Mike Gallagher. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's a third down and 10. The good thing about your team being comfortably in charge is, as broadcasters, we're calling the game of the winning team. The bad news is there's so many New Jerseys, you spend the fourth quarter just scanning the roster. A pickup of 1, so a fourth down and 9 coming up for Feehan. They will punt the football away.
Well, that's what's good as these games go long, and we're mid-season, like you mentioned, Peter, and you get to know the players, and you get to know the linemen, and you get to recognize the names, so you're not always looking down at the roster, but this is definitely a setback.
Snap is a high one. Able to get it off was Brendan Mulligan, and because of the snap and the pressure, will not be a very long punt. Matter of fact, it will be a net of only about 8 yards. Bob, I know you have a big night, the homecoming dance tonight.
Well, thank
Best
you.
of luck. Great hearing you again.
I enjoyed it with Steve and Peter and anyone from the land of Big Red. Certainly I am with them for the rest of the season. I follow all their games, and I try to get to as many as I can.
And do you follow North TV on Facebook and Twitter? Because you get scoring updates.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic.
Not really.
Liar.
Thanks.
There was a big smile to the right of me.
Yeah, I saw that. Have a good one. Bob Gay, the former principal at North Attleboro High School, now the principal here at Coyle Cassidy High School. A loss of 1 on that last carry, so a second down and, let's call it second down and 10. They're saying he did get back to the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Cobb on the carry. Yes, indeed, it was. There are some people that just born to do certain things, and my brother, and I'm not saying this because he's my brother, I've heard it from many people at North Attleboro over the years, just was born to be an educator and an administrator. Very well liked. And there's a pass. Monahan is there, makes the catch all the way down to the 34-yard line.
Now that ball had a little bit more air under it. Nice pass to the outside, and Green set his feet, good protection, gets the ball out. And this is probably the only time today I've seen Monahan get behind the defense. Coming into this game, there's been a couple straight shutouts here, so the Shamrocks are still trying to keep this Coyle team off the board.
Feehan still a number of starters still in defensively. Cobb off left guard will pick up a yard on the play. Brought down defensively, I believe it's Christopher Barth. And Barth is shaken up on the play. And once again, Steve, you know, it's fine to say, hey, we've shut out 3 or 4 straight teams, but if you end up losing one of your players for the rest of the season, is it really worth it?
It's completely not worth it.
Matt Allen is still in the game. Isaiah Douglas is still in the game. And Coyle Cassidy using a timeout. Tom Pileski seeing something he did not like and talking to his quarterback, Dylan Green. And Barth now limps off the field. Doesn't appear to be, there's a shot over in the distance. Doesn't appear to be anything serious, but why risk it?
No, it's not. It's a stat. It really doesn't mean anything. I know you take pride in that, and you need to have goals, and I'm sure that's one of the goals coming into this game. But it's when you put the pressure on the younger kids, your teammates.
Green throwing. Had to let that one go earlier than he would have liked. It was intended over on the far side for Jesse Jason. And Green simply not enough time to wait for that play and the pattern to develop. Will throw it away.
Yeah, Zach Forger closing in on Green as he throws it, and then got hit high. I believe it was number 60.
Green now 4 of 11, 55 yards through the air, sacked 3 times, a total of 20 yards. Tell you, weather-wise, turned out much nicer than I thought it was going to be this afternoon.
It's beautiful. Just didn't want to waste the gloves since I brought them.
Yeah. Collision downfield, and I'll tell you, that's a tough call going against the Shamrocks. Monahan was the intended receiver. There was no way in the world that Monahan would have been able to get to that pass. And it was really, I thought, incidental contact downfield, but I mean, look how...
The ball's not even in the screen.
That was probably 15 yards overthrown. And that, I do believe, is a bad call.
Will not disagree with that. Uncatchable. Incidental contact.
Isaiah Douglas called on the interference, and really a tough call against Isaiah. Green, quarterback draw, will be brought down, making the initial stop Cody McAllis for the Shamrocks. McAllis, 6'1", 208 senior. Do you remember years ago, Stephen, it might have even been the case when you were playing, you'd see 1 or 2 linemen over 200 pounds. Now, every lineman is over 200 pounds.
It was 185 to 190. That was big, and yeah, you know their rosters. They usually have about 10 pounds on them added extra. But I agree, there's a lot of 200 on these rosters.
Green under pressure picks up a block. Will keep it himself. Will pick up a couple of yards on the play. And now a 3rd down, and what will it be? Let's call it a 3rd down and 6 coming up for Coyle.
Yeah, nice hit by Benjamin Kenny, 6'2", 175-pound junior, finishing off that play.
So Feehan on their way to a 4-2 start. They will play host to Martha's Vineyard in 2 weeks. They are off next week. That game on the 27th at McGrath Stadium, a 1 o'clock start. That's homecoming at Bishop Feehan. Friday, November 2nd at Durfee, a 7 o'clock start. The big one is at Somerset Berkeley on Saturday, November 10th, a 1 o'clock start. And then they resume a Thanksgiving Day series with Bishop Stang at 10 a.m. at McGrath Stadium. Back in, it was either Thanksgiving Day 65 or Thanksgiving Day 66. Bishop Feehan and Bishop Stang played for, I believe it was the Bristol County League Championship and the mythical #1 ranking in Eastern Massachusetts football. Thanksgiving Day, Hayward Field, and the game was televised live by Channel 6. Was the first high school football game ever televised.
Was that with Walter Crane?
Oh, no. It was Channel 6 people. Their sports department televised it.
Really?
Pass incomplete.
On TV, Peter?
What? Not Channel 6. Broadcast TV.
Really?
Televised the game live from Hayward Field. So there's a trivia question for you. Now, there's been Inland Cable, the old UA Columbia in North Attleboro. Now you have North TV, AACS, Attleboro, Bishop Feehan, North Attleboro. What was the first game ever televised? Nobody would say Channel 6.
Yeah. Ken Bell was actually there, right?
No, he's not that old. Actually, Ken's not that old, actually.
No.
He's just...
I remember going with you to see Ken probably back in the late 80s.
Yeah, nice guy. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. 4th down. Pass is incomplete, and Coyle comes up empty on that drive with 5:24 left. And Steve, I'm done compiling statistics. So I'll give what I have for final statistics, at least for the Feehan starters. Matt Allen, 11 carries, 181 yards, 1 touchdown. That a 35-yard run. Isaiah Douglas, 14 carries, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, one from 2 yards out, the other from 16. Matt Glebus, 5 carries, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns, each of 14 yards. Nick Romero, 3 carries for 5 yards. Romero through the air. I had him unofficially for 2 of 5, 36 yards. And Coyle Cassidy, prior to those last few plays, with 82 yards of total offense, while Feehan with 355.
Yeah, they just kind of went on cruise control there in the second half.
2nd down and 10. Or 2nd and 9, actually. He did pick up 2 feet. Rounded off, it's a 9, isn't it?
In the ball game.
4:47, clock is running. I look at my clock here. The actual time is 2:45. I might make the kickoff of Notre Dame, Stanford.
Well, what a run.
What a run indeed by Mike Gallagher. Gallagher has the first down. And let's face it, if the Shamrocks can keep control of the football here, they will simply run out the clock. But if they're forced to punt the football away, Coyle, of course, is going to try to throw a score on the board, which you'd certainly want them to do if you're a fan of the Warriors. And in doing so, we'll throw the football and jeopardize me being home by kickoff.
So pick up some first downs, is that what you're saying, Peter?
Which, there's 4 o'clock Mass, or there's Notre Dame football. Well, it is a Catholic football game. Loss of a few on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 13.
And I think they tackled the center, the guard, and the quarterback on that one play.
Yeah, look at the penetration right here.
Oh, and the running back.
Loss of 3 on the play. 2nd and 13 coming up. Inside of 4 minutes left now. I don't know where I'm getting wireless internet from, but I've got a signal right now that's 100%. I'm going to go on Facebook and see all of our postings, Steve. 3rd down and 4 coming up for Bishop Feehan.
You get online at Community?
What's that?
When we're at a game at Community, are you able to get online with the neighborhood right there? No.
Coyle Cassidy have no illegal procedure called against the Shamrocks with 2:38 left.
First start, offense. Now move the Shamrocks back to the 3rd and 4th, so the 3rd and 9 now. Where's the cutting the ball back, 2.5 minutes to play. Points on the board.
So a 3rd down and 9 as they mark off 5 with 2:15 left. Penalty marker down.
Procedural penalty.
Offside, so Coyle Cassidy gives back the 5 yards. And what happened was, I believe the center snapped the ball when the Coyle Cassidy player was in the neutral zone.
The offside. Remind you that we see you back here November 3rd. Warriors go on the road next week at Sting.
On the carry for the Shamrocks, I believe that's Gallagher. Or is that 35? Nope, it is 36.
That day is correct. 26 on the road at Sting. And 2 weeks this weekend, so 3 weeks back here at Hopewell Park.
1:15 left and a 1st down and 10. And Feehan will simply run out the clock. Steve, your final thoughts on this one?
Just a dominant performance by Bishop Feehan. We see another big run right here by Gallagher. He's come in and put some big yards up here in the 4th quarter. But the special teams, defense, offense, once Bishop Feehan really opened up their playbook after they're up 14-0, they started running some counters and throwing the ball a little bit. They really outperformed these Warriors. They definitely one of the class of the EAC this year in Bishop Feehan. Looking forward to seeing how they finish out this season. Need to work on their passing game, as you alluded to, though.
This will be our last telecast of Bishop Feehan football this season, unless, of course, they make it into the MIAA playoffs. If that's the case, we will be with the Shamrocks on Tuesday night. I forget, like the 26th or something of November. As a matter of fact, let me pull up the calendar here. 27th is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. You're absolutely right. At a site to be determined. But first of all, they need to get through the Eastern Athletic Conference, including big games over Martha's or with Martha's Vineyard and Somerset Berkeley. The producer and director of today's telecast, also slow motion replay. He did it all. Chris Miller, Megan Miller on graphics, on cameras, Michelle Lucier, Bruce Houghton, and George Wright. I want to thank my brother Bob, the principal at Coyle Cassidy, for stopping in, giving us some time this afternoon. On behalf of Steve Poole, I'm Peter Gay. The final, Feehan improves to 4-2. Coyle drops to 3-3, 35-0 Shamrocks on top.